My principal paid my school fees and my life became a mess. I had just lost my father and my mom was struggling to survive. I couldn't pay school fees. So every morning I walked into the school with fear in my heart because I knew they would send me home again. As usual, I entered the school compound crying, and that was when my principal saw me. The principal is a canon in an Anglican church. He's well respected as a church. Called me over and asked why I was crying, so I explained my situation. Smiled at me and said, "Don't worry, I will take care of it." For the first time that term, I smiled. I thought God had sent help. Asked me to go join my fellow student that I will hear from him. Before we closed from school that day, the vice principal called me and gave me a receipt. My school fees were cleared. I was so happy. I rushed to thank the principal at his office, but the moment I got close to him, he asked me to hug him. In my mind, I said, "What's hug compared to what he did for me?" So I went to hug him. The way he hugged me made my spirit uncomfortable. Eyes were not looking at me like a child who needed help, but like a man looking at the woman he wanted. First, I didn't understand it fully then, but that was the beginning of my fear. The next day after I got to school, he sent for me again. Then he told me to sit on his lap when I entered his office. A man in his 40s asking a 70-year-old child to sit on his lap. I refused, but he insisted. When I reluctantly sat on his lap, he tried touching me. Then I pushed his hand. Then he got angry and asked me to leave. From that day, my life in school became a nightmare. Watched my every move. He didn't like me talking to boys, even male teachers and coppers. He always offers me money, but I refused. He acted like he owned me simply because he paid my school fees. Because of the way he harasses me, I started avoiding school. I come up with excuses every time my mom asks me why I didn't go to school. Some days I will leave home going to school, but I never entered the school building. There is this uncompleted building in my school where I always hide, crying and praying for help. Everyone noticed I changed, but nobody knew why. One day, while I was crying in the uncompleted building in my school, Copper Victor found me. He asked why I was crying. At first, I lied because nobody would believe me, but he continued asking me until I told him the truth. He believed me and promised to help me. One day, the principal invited me to his house. Then I went with Victor. That was when he knew that someone was already aware of what he was doing. That was how he stopped disturbing me. When it was time for WAEC, the principal offered to pay again, but I chose freedom over fear. I left to write in another state. He was so angry, but I didn't care. I was finally free from him. I was away. I heard he impregnated a girl and the church dismissed him. Meanwhile, his wife had already left him since due to this same problem. A few years later, he contacted me again, begging me for the same thing he asked when I was in school. This time around, I didn't reject it. I accepted the offer because I was not in the same state. I started milking him with an exchange of news that weren't even mine. I continued until my wedding invite was ready. After I sent him the invite, he called me and said, if I knew I was going to get married to another person, why didn't I tell him? Why did I let him on? I told him it was a payback for all he did to me while I was in school. He then said that God would judge me and drop the call. Please, I want to know, did I do anything wrong? Hey guys, thank you for joining us today. Please do well to follow, like, comment and share. Bye.